Okay, this small PDF file which I am sending separately for the flight planning, the flight organizing the flight, not exactly the full planning. So this is the aeronautical charts. So we have here Windsor, Bradley International, Windsor Locks, and here it is Boston. So these are the airways. Now for look at this is the VOR which has 030. So this is the magnetic 360. So this will be 3030. This is 82. This is 114. This will be 90. This will be 270. So this will be 180. So this is 114. This is 192. This is 224, 254. So this is how the routes are designated. Then there are other VOR stations, end route. So you connect, you navigate, and of course in modern navigation you are allowed to take your own GPS route, imaginary waypoints, but you need to file that with the air traffic control before you, and they should approve that. Then standard all commercial airlines, they have their own dispatch section who plan everything and put it into the remotely they put it into the computer or the plane. So pilots do not have to do all this work. And this is the geographical map of the Boston area. So you have the runways. This is our runway 33. 33 left. This is 33 right, 33 left. So you need to look for the charts for 33 left. And these are the various other runways. It gives obstructions and so many things. Particularly very important when you are on a low flight, because these are all obstructions. Each one is given their altitude. So many parameters. These are water bodies, the geographical features, and this is the route. This is the aeronautical map. So this is the route we are coming. And as I said, you can't land here. This is the middle of this. This is only showing that one point to another point route. Now when we actually fly, you will see we will be taking a turn from here, coming and then landing on the runway like this. Those are I have taken a little extra time, but please look at that. You will understand everything. And now this is the map. This is the most important one. This is okay. I will expand it a little bit. How we look at that. Now this is the 33 runway. That is 330. This is 330 heading, Now this is 90, 180, 270, 330, 360. So this is 330. If you want to expand a little more. Okay, this is the 330. Okay, this is too much. 33 runway. Now what is important is this radio frequency. That is the localizer. That's one is giving you this runway center line that is allowing you to capture this. So when we go into the flight, you will see that I will be putting in 110.7. This is in megahertz. That is ILS frequency, and this is the identifier. This channel 44 is for the military. This is not for the commercial. These military planes use this. This is the Boston VOR, the one I showed you as a circle. We are not using this for our landing approach. We are using the ILS. This is the VOR, very high frequency only range. Now, this is the holding pattern. That is, if you miss the approach, you have to go in with a specific route. Then, go in a holding pattern, because it is important that you should have some order around the airport, because the planes are to be on a designated route, so they don't clash each other. It's all very very safely done. So nobody can make a mistake unless they misread something and then do something. Generally, it doesn't happen. Air traffic control keep a hawk eye and they make sure that you follow this. So this is the 330. This is the radio beam. Within this you can capture this. The V shape here. This is like a feather. So these are two radio beams. It's very interesting that how it is. There are two frequencies, and when they are mixing in the middle, that is where you get the center line of the runway. So here it is 330. So this again we will be putting as the course in our plane in the panel, master control panel. Then this is the Benin. Now when you see, you after you see the video, you come back and view this before or after, but you will see that we were planning our approach around Ben, whatever Ben or Ben. So we were coming on a route like this, and then we will take a turn here. Then I was approaching Ben and taking here. This is what is given here in a D form. Is called the distance measuring equipment, DME, which is 15 nautical miles. This is 9.6 nautical miles, 4.7 nautical miles from the touchdown. So this is the runway. So this is very important. Around 15 nautical miles. That's why when you see the video, I came about 19 nautical miles. Then I took a turn, and then that part we do manually, or it can be done in the flight management system, but to explain that I did it manually here. So I came here, I took another heading, and once you lock with this, then that is you will also see that I took 4,000 feet altitude. Why I put it here as a video is when you look at that, you won't get much sense unless the explanation I have made. When you look at the PDF document, you can understand everything. So this line shows you have to be at 4,000 feet here. So at 4,000 feet you can see I have approached at 4,000 feet altitude. Then 33 is our this is the profile view, vertical view. So this is 330. We came on this, and then this is the feather, this feather. And these are the points. You will see the Cohas and Ben particularly. I was looking carefully. So beyond this point, we have to be at 4,000 feet, and somewhere within this, if you are somewhere here, you will not be capturing this. So I came here, then took a turn and captured this. Normally in all these big airports, they give ATC will give you the vector. They will say, take this heading, go this distance, then take a turn, then they keep on giving the heading because they space each plane by the distance. They need to space it properly. That's why you can see large airport, one after another. The planes are just like like a funnel. It comes and lands, one after the other, and it's all very carefully managed by automation. Now this is the missed approach. In case you are not able to see the runway, this is the runway here. Then at some point here you have to take off. That there is something called a runway visual range, RVR, depending on the category, and that it's not in this chart, but then another chart may be there. Now look here. This is 110.7. This is the localizer frequency which we'll be using for our runway capturing the ILS. And these are the other frequencies like weather. This weather information. This is approach. This is tower. This is delivery. So this is see actually from the parking bay, it is ground or the apron control. Then you are taken to the tower when you are on the runway to take off. So one ATC doesn't handle all the functions. Each they have been given specific responsibilities. So this so you have to keep changing. You tune in those frequencies. These are the frequencies if you want to 120.6 to when you want, if you want to talk to approach control. You can read that. When you look at your PDF, you expand everything. see that. And this is the tower. If you want to talk to tower, then you have to put this. And this is west and east. There are two towers in Boston. Okay, this is a ground control. That is for getting up to the runway. So you after touchdown also you tune this, and then they will tell you which normally it is all pre-planned, but then they will make sure that they communicate with you to that you have any problem in the taxiway to find the parking way, those kind of things. They give support. So these radio frequencies you have to keep changing. And delivery. This is about the parking way when there are big airports, then they call it a delivery. Clearance, CLNC, DEL, clearance delivery. That is, they make sure that you are allowed to go from the aero bridge to the runway. Okay, now this is the missed approach. This is the hold. It's called the holding pattern. This is the missed approach. These are the various altitude restrictions, and this is the localizer which we picked up. These are the runways information. What are the lighting? Which runway length? All information. All information are here, and this is for the Boston. I'm talking for the Boston, because that's where we are landing. Takeoff is not all that critical. Now here you can see this is a category 1 ILS. There are 2, 3. That means I just picked up category 1. So each one has a runway visual range or a decision height, all separate. See category 3, there are ABC. Category 3C, you can land without any visibility. You can even put a newspaper on the windscreen and then land on the runway. So, but then this is the first edition, category 1. So this is the 33L, it is shown here. 33 left, I told you left and right will be given because there are 2 runways here. Here this is the right, 33 right, this is 33 left. Similarly there is 4 left, 4 right. Okay, that is all. This is most important. This we need to pick up for each airport, and then make sure we strictly comply that. This is our beautiful, this is one picture I loved. So this is same thing which when you fly you will see. This is our primary flight display, this is our multifunction display, this is our auto panel. All this I have explained. So when you fly, you will you can keep watch. Okay, now you will look at the PDF document after the flight.